This is the Codcast. All things Whitby Town FC.
With BR Asbestos, your trusted local experts in asbestos surveying, removal and compliance. Safety without compromise. Visit br-asbestos.co.uk.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Codcast. I'm Andrew Snaith and I'm very pleased to say from the Whitby Town media team we've got Nathan Conyer and Paul Connolly joining me to look ahead to the final friendly of pre-season. It is Guisborough Town. Familiar faces, Paul?
Yeah, plenty of familiar faces, which always tends to be the case, doesn't it, when we play Guisborough Town. You look across, obviously, the dugout. There's Nathan Haslam in there. There's the likes of Sonny Fergus, Connor Simpson, Sam Collins now as well. We've seen playing for Guisborough over the course of pre-season. So there's always going to be familiar faces in and around these sort of fixtures. It is a very local game, isn't it? When you look across it, and I mean for both sides as well. Both teams will be looking to end pre-season strong against essentially a group of the mates. I think is a lot of it. Obviously, Whitby also having players that have played in Guisborough's ranks, the likes of sort of Tommy Dowson and those kind of players. So it'll be an interesting game. It'll be a good one to catch up with plenty of people, as it is every single year. We always look forward to seeing, the likes of Dennis Wheeler. Dennis will be down on Saturday. A real sort of Whitby Town legend and a Guisborough legend. The likes of those. It's always good to see those sort of people and catch up with them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it in that respect. And interesting to see the old faces.
Indeed, and we're going to be hearing from Whitby Town goalkeeper Jack Norton shortly. He'll be catching up with Nathan. Nathan, welcome to the Codcast, first of all. We've heard some of your interviews already, which is excellent, but good to have you on for a proper live discussion with us as well. I think with all the turnover, all the new players coming in, it could be quite a challenging season ahead, do you think?
I completely agree. I think that it's going to be challenging, but I feel like compared to last season, we've brought in players that have a point to prove, and they've all been signings from like the league below, for example. So they're all sort of itching to prove their worth, as it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the season because we've from the pre-season matches, it just seems like a much more high intensity throughout the squad. For me personally, midfield seems to be have a lot more control, and even to be fair, at the back with Sterland and Dillon coming in, they both are sort of like on the ball centre backs, and they're very good at picking out a pass, which I feel like we were sort of missing last season. And then obviously you've got Tommy Dowson coming in, another young player that is hopefully going to be with us for a couple of seasons. He's not just going to be a 1-year player. But yeah, his link-up play as well throughout pre-season, notably the pass at West Auckland, which set up one of our goals. It was a great through ball, and I'm really looking forward to seeing much more football like that this season.
Absolutely. And we caught up with Lee Bullock, I did, earlier on in the week, looking ahead to that game.
Hello, mate.
Hiya, Lee. You okay, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. You?
Yeah, good, thank you. Have you got 5 minutes?
Yeah, I have.
Top man. Okay, so obviously...
You've got your kit, Tim. No, doing you? Yeah, good.
Yeah, just...
God, sorry, I stopped someone.
That's all right, mate. So yeah, obviously as we speak, you're at Thursday training ahead of Saturday's game against Guisborough, the final friendly before the competitive stuff starts. How close are you to where you and Denny want to be for this season?
Well, we've got what we wanted. We've built the squad from absolute scratch, which is has been a challenge. I believe we've got a really good group of lads that want to be here. Like I've said many times, we're still a couple of players short, maybe 2 or 3. But I've had so many phone calls this week. People are starting to offer players now. So you've got like a lot of your pro clubs are offering you. Well, every pro club seems to have 4 or 5 number 10s. Everyone's do you need a number 10? Do you need a holding midfielder? But we're all right there, and I'm saying these people like we've got Jack, we've got Tommy. If I start bringing young lads in from other clubs, suddenly it's not fair on these lads who've done all pre-season. I would rather give our lads a chance. So we're on the lookout, but probably for a little bit more experience at the minute. So there's a lot of calls coming in, but we're still. We probably just need a little bit of non-league experience now, because I honestly believe that Jack and Tommy and a few of the others, they've got as much about them as these young lads who come in from academies, because they're used to men's football.
That's interesting. So presumably these are professional clubs trying to get those young players a bit more experience. And when we spoke earlier on in the summer, back in May, and you did reassure us that it might be really late on in pre-season. We might see a bit of business done right at the end. I mean, is that what you're foreseeing, that maybe even right up to the first game that we're going to be maybe seeing one or two new faces? It could be a busy week.
Yeah, well, no, because everyone's wanted us to build a squad. We've got 15, 16 lads in now, and suddenly everyone keeps asking, you signing more. So if I sign more, some of the lads here won't get an opportunity, so we haven't even seen them yet. So that's the quandary I'm in. Like, yes, I probably would like a big strapping centre half, a Kev Burgess, like myself, Gary Liddell, someone who's played there with the experience, but they're not there. Like a Pelly, they're not available at the minute. Another top centre forward to go up top, but they're just not there. But we'll keep looking and looking.
And obviously,
but as for bringing like these younger ones in that you get offered a lot of, it would be at the expense of a couple of our younger lads who, as far as I'm aware, everyone's desperate to see playing in a Whitby shirt. So if I start bringing other clubs' young lads in from lower professional levels, is it fair on the lads I've got here? So that's what we weigh up. But that'll maybe wait till a month into the season when we see how they're settling.
And I guess a little bit of the elephant in the room, Bully. Obviously, you've been trialling a right-sided wing back. Might we see a little bit more of him?
I don't know, because the ball's entirely in his court. So it's his decision to make. He's that's as much as I really want to say. The ball's with him. That he knows what we can do and what we're willing. If he wants to come and play his football here, then 100% you will, because I think there's a good, exciting player there.
Fantastic. And obviously, looking ahead, I mean, is Saturday's team likely to be very close, if not maybe even the same team as you field against Leek?
No, probably not, because a lot can happen between now and next week. You've got lads, not unfortunately, lads away on holiday, got lads getting injuries, anything can happen. It's this level with families and school children, and people take holidays, so that there's stuff like that potential to happen before league. So I'll just be expecting whoever plays, or the second they're on that pitch, it's go next week. So they're almost in full on league mode. There's no pre-season mentality. This is it now. You're playing for your shirt. You're playing for your place.
Yeah, I was going to say, so is that the case with the Guisborough game then on Saturday? We've talked about, hours into the legs and fitness and everything else, not looking at the results, but I presume Saturday you'd want the players to approach it exactly as if it was that game down at Leek in the NPL.
Yeah, that's why it was a perfect time in us to play Guisborough, because they're in exactly the same position as us. A decent team. It's about to start their league next week. So yeah, it'll be, if you've got the shirt, it's yours to keep or yours to lose. And there's two ways you do it. You put in a good, solid performance that's full of everything we require. You keep the shirt. If you don't, there's a good chance you lose it for league. So it's time to get very serious now.
Indeed, and obviously Nathan Haslam, the manager now at Guisborough Town, ex-Blue, and obviously somebody you know really well. Have you guys spoken much in the lead up to the game?
No, we speak sporadically. We spoke a few times over the summer. Not only when we do, it's for like quite a while. In fact, he's messaged me today just saying he's been checking the forecast and it's not windy, so he's over the moon with that. But no, we'll just catch up Saturday. We both got our own football clubs to look after now, so it'd be good to see him and a few other lads. But really, we're both there to sort our teams out for the following week.
Indeed, and just very quickly, Bully, I know you've been very complimentary. Just a quick word for the job Darren's done with the pitch, because it looks perfect ahead of that game.
I was hoping so, because obviously the last time we were there against Pickering, it was outstanding. But we've had another, 10, 12 days of very little rain, apart from the one day we try and put Gala Day on. So I'm really looking forward to getting on that pitch, because that's been my one disappointment to pre-season, that we put that much effort and time and hard work into getting a squad together. Sort of didn't put the same amount of time into the pre-season fixtures, and I think the 4 away games we've had, the choice of surfaces was poor from myself. Like, you learn something all the time, and obviously you've got to get better. And in Athallerton, the West game, the surfaces were a million miles off. The Brid, Mask, early doors, you can sort of allow it, but that's probably my one disappointment. The away games, the surfaces have just ruined it, really.
And just finally, Bully, I mean, with so many changes over the summer, so many new players in, is it almost going to be a little bit of a learning on the job as we go through these early games? Are we going to see a development of the team?
Yeah, I'd 100% imagine so, because, like you say, you can never replicate leak away in the pre-season games. You can replicate the next home match on the Tuesday night. That's when it really matters, and that's where we'll look at lads and see, do they fancy it? They obviously do fancy it, because they're here and they're working hard and they're really looking forward to it. Are we going to step up? Are we going to go and say everyone's against us, everyone's writing us off? Let's show you. And yeah, it probably will take a couple of games, couple of weeks to settle.
This is the Codcast.
With BR Asbestos, your trusted local experts in asbestos surveying, removal and compliance. Safety without compromise. Visit br-asbestos.co.uk.
This is the Cast.
That's Lee Bullock looking ahead to Guisborough on Saturday, speaking to me earlier on this week. Interesting your points earlier, Nathan. So the midfield, the youngsters, I mean, Bully very very clear there, wanting to give these young players a chance. The likes of Tommy Dowson, Jack Kilpatrick, Paul. He sees quite a lot in these lads, doesn't he?
Yeah, he certainly does, and to be fair, rightly so as well. You know, they are very talented footballers, very good footballers. We've spoken a few times about sort of Jack, and I know sort of Bully really likes him. He's a young lad who he goes out there and he doesn't have a care in the world. He plays football like he's playing football with his mates. It's that sort of Wayne Rooney kind of street footballer style, you might say. He goes in, he has that aggression, he's not fazed by anything, he runs at people, he causes problems. The middle of the park against Pickering, he absolutely left one of their lads for dead with an unbelievable turn, and then just drove forward with the ball, and you would think he'd played at the level for years, the way that he sort of did that. So yeah, he's a really exciting footballer, and somebody who I'm looking forward to seeing in a Northern Premier League setting, because it is all well and good in the friendlies, but ultimately the bread and butter is what starts next Saturday against Lake Town, and that's where the real challenge is going to be for Jack, is to see whether he can replicate that at the Northern Premier League level. And to be honest, we saw him against FC United at the back end of last season, and at Morpeth, I think it was, and again, in those games, he didn't look phased. He was always looking to get on the ball and run at people and cause problems. So I think he's going to have a really bright future. I think he's going to have a really good season in a Whitby Town shirt. And Tommy Dowson as well. Tommy's somebody who's played a lot of men's football now. You know, he had a season with Guisborough Town last year in a very tough Northern League. You know, it's a very physical league, that Northern League. There's a lot of experienced players, and you know, if you're a young lad, it can be quite daunting going into that sort of setting. But again, he went in, he wasn't fazed by anything. He got himself a few goals. You know, he got himself a lot of plaudits for his performances at Guisborough. And ultimately, he was part of a team that won the Northern League, which is, you know, it's no easy feat at the end of the day, to go in as a 16, 17-year-old and do that. So again, he's got a season of men's football under his belt. You know, now it's the chance to step up to Whitby Town's level. You know, there's been a couple of sort of false starts for getting him into the squad at Whitby. You know, particularly one at the back end of last season where we couldn't quite get him registered in time. So for Tommy now, you know, he's desperate to prove himself and prove that he can play at this level. And you know, with the attitude that him and Jack have and the hard work that they put in, week out, which you can see on the pitch in games, and you know, I've seen and Liam's seen, and everybody in the staff's seen at training. I think they've got a really bright future ahead of them, and hopefully a good season ahead.
Indeed, and another player stepping up from Northern League level is the centre half James Dillon, and he spoke to Liam earlier this week.
Well, James, getting closer now, really. You know, one more game to go in pre-season. You know, you've been around the squad for a few weeks now. How do you sort of feel that pre-season's gone to this point?
Mixed so far. I mean, personally, our training's been started off really intense. Really good quality. I thought we started our first couple of games really well as well. Started bright, really competitive. Obviously, let ourselves down in the 2 away games. But I feel like we've got a lot of depth in the squad, and I feel like we'll come good. I think hopefully Saturday we can put it right at home, and then that leads on to the big start of the season next week.
Yeah, and obviously in terms of the results as well, I know that Bully and Denny have sort of, you know, they've made their points clear after the games at likes of West Auckland and North Allerton. You know, disappointing defeats, but I guess the way you've got to view it as players is, you know, you'd rather get those out of the way now than in the actual league season.
Of course, yeah, but with it being a new squad, you always, no matter whenever you play football, you always want to win, and it always leads you on to better games. So we always like to win no matter what. But yeah, he's right. He was right what he said in the change rooms. It is just minutes in the legs, but we need to see good habits on the football pitch leading into the season next week. So we've got to start trusting each other on the ball and be a little bit more intense. So yeah.
Yeah, and of course yourself as well, you know, one of 4 Borough Rangers players that came into the club over the summer. You'll know them very well, but do you feel as well that you've really sort of got to know the other players and how you can sort of complement each other?
Yeah, a lot, to be honest. It's been nice. I don't know if you've noticed on the team sheet over the last few weeks, he's pretty much kept the back four, back five pretty much the same. So it's nice to be able to kind of build up a rapport with the likes of Charlie and Leon. So yeah, we're just starting to get to know each other still got time to get to know each other, exactly how each other plays. But yeah, it's nice to be able to like link up with them and link up with the midfield. Yeah, I think we're building quite nicely.
Yeah, and one thing I've probably noticed as well, quite a few supporters, it kind of feels that as more, you know, one of the more senior members of the squad, have you sort of been given, you know, sort of a bit more of a leadership role in the group this season?
I would say so. I mean, he hasn't spoken to me directly and said that, but I would kind of take it upon myself. I know we went to the races recently for a bit of team bonding. I was kind of the person to organise where to meet and money situations and things like that. So I would like to think I'm one of the main ones who are responsible for a bit of leadership, yeah, definitely. And I want to take that upon myself as well this season, even if he hasn't officially given me that role. Because I have got, although I haven't played the higher level as some of the lads there, I've definitely got a lot of experience that I'd love to be able to share with the lads in the group.
Yeah, and just looking a bit closer at Saturday's game against Guisborough Town, obviously new promoted back into the NPL Division 1. But do you feel that's probably going to be the closest test, perhaps, in terms of what you can maybe expect come day one of the league season with Whitby?
I would say so. Having played for the club previously, I know they've got a really good setup, and we played them twice last season while I was at Borough Rangers. They beat us both times in a really strong squad. I know they've made some signs. I know they're even better this season. So yeah, they'll definitely be a strong team, and we'd like to go into that full of confidence and hoping that we kick on to the season. So yeah, it'll be a tough test, but hopefully we can come out on top.
Yeah, and then just finally, of course, the league season starting the following week, and I guess as a squad, it's all about getting yourselves braced for what's going to be a frantic start with ultimately 8 games in the first month.
Yeah, I mean he reiterated that last night, the other night at training, actually on Tuesday, that it's that the intensity's picking right up. He can see straight away. Denny and Bully are both switched on in training. The intensity's picking up. They're demanding more of us. So yeah, I mean, we're in good stead. Hopefully, with a good result on Saturday, that'll make us push on for a good start next season. We have some good training sessions booked for next week, and hopefully we can kick on and start the league season away at League Town really well.
This is the Codcast.
With BR Asbestos, your trusted local experts in asbestos surveying, removal and compliance. Safety without compromise. Visit br-asbestos.co.uk.
That's James Dillon speaking to Liam, part of that quartet of Borough Rangers players that have signed on, former Borough Rangers players, and they seem like quite a together group, a very focused group. Nathan, they seem they've got a great attitude about them. I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit more of them. I mean, have they caught your eye?
Yeah, absolutely. My first game that I saw them was actually the masked one, and yeah, just the way that, again, like I said before, with James Dillon and Sterling, the way that they brought the ball out from the back and they were picking out passes left, right, and centre. Yeah, it was just it's not what I was sort of used to seeing at this level. Is just how comfortable they are on the ball. And then obviously you've got Stu Rose further up top, and he was just chasing absolutely everything down. And I just think that in this league, I do think that he's going to be contributing, not just in terms of goals, but also his work rate for the likes of Jack Kilpatrick, who we mentioned just a moment ago. I think that he's going to thrive under playing next to Stu Rose, potentially. We'll have to see what Bully's squad is. But yeah, I think that out of the signings that have come in, the 4 Borough Rangers lads have really, really kicked on, and I think that you could potentially be seeing all 4 of them starting week in, week out with how they've sort of performed in pre-season. And obviously last season being all together, it's just the way that they link up so well. And yeah, I think they could sort of push us on into a better position than last season, which probably isn't that difficult. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting the season going and travelling to League Town and seeing what the lads can do.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. I mean, there's one of my other hats on being involved with the North Riding League, which Borough Rangers went straight through, bulldozed their way through into the Northern League. Ben Turner, who also I think had a spell at Yarm and possibly Redcar as well. He was always a goal-scoring midfielder, so I'm interested to see if he can get maybe 5-10 goals from midfield this season. That would be very useful. And also Callum Hickman with the way that he links up, as you say, with the likes of Stu Rose. I think there's a lot to look forward to this season. And of course, putting all that together, the experience of 39-year-old, can you believe now, Jack Norton in the goal, and he caught up with Nathan earlier on.
Yeah, so you've obviously seen a lot of new players coming in.
Yeah.
What do you make of the squad this season compared to last season?
It's hard for me to comment on the squad from last season because I wasn't here. And a lot of the players, I'll be honest, I don't know that were here last year. I do know a few of the lads that have come in. I know what they're about. I know what type of characters they are, and I'm getting to know the characters better. If you wanted me to sort of way up last season and this season, it sounds like the group that we've got now, and again, this is only going on sort of what I'm hearing, but it sounds like there's some, the attitudes are better this time around. I can definitely say from what I've seen, I can't fault the attitude of the lads since we've come back in. But yeah, it sounds like there's a bit more of a better attitude around this time. Whether the quality's the same, well, that's remain to be seen. Like I say, we'll get a Saturday, and I think we'll get a better look at where we are and what we are once Saturday's game's over and done with, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, based on what I've seen, the attitude is brilliant throughout the squad, even with it being such a young squad, to be fair. Yeah. So, just looking past Saturday, is there a specific fixture that you're looking forward to this season?
I haven't pinpointed any, if I'm honest. I mean, you look at the games and you look at the ones where you're going to be playing in front of the better crowds and things like that. So you might be looking at your Berries away, your FC Manchesters, things like that. I think for the lads who might not have played at the level before, playing in front of them crowds, it could go one way or the other. It can sometimes eke more out of a player, and you can get better performances when they've got more people watching them, or it can go the other way. But yeah, I think the games where you're going to have bigger crowds, for me personally, I like playing in front of more people. So yeah, just the bigger grounds where you're going to get bigger crowds, I think they're the ones I'll be sort of looking forward to most.
Extra.
The home of live Whitby Town coverage. This is the Coast Extra.
With BR Asbestos, your trusted local experts in asbestos surveying, removal and compliance. Safety without compromise. Visit br-asbestos.co.uk.
This is the Coast Extra.
That's Jack Norton speaking to Nathan, Whitby Town goalkeeper, of course. Paul, obviously a well-known face, former Whitby Town player. I think he was with us initially as a fresh-faced teenager on loan from York City many moons ago. But he's going to be, nothing less than 110% committed, isn't he?
Oh yeah, Jack's Jack. That's the first thing I'll say. He's if you know Jack Norton, then you know exactly what he's like. You know, he's just desperate to win games of football, and that's no different. You know, he's working hard. He's probably working as hard now as he ever has done. Getting involved in all the fitness work as well on Tuesday when I was up at training. So he's absolutely grafting himself to make sure he's right for the season and ready for the season. And yeah, look, Lee Bullock very early in the summer sort of earmarked Jack as a potential replacement for Shane Bland as somebody who'll go out there and just not let you down. He'll go out, he'll do his job, and ultimately, come 5 o'clock, that he's given everything and he's setting the standards within the squad when you're out on that pitch. So yeah, Jack will be one of those sort of leader figures across the course of this season. He's somebody that Lee Bullock certainly looks to for that, and he's somebody that ultimately Lee Bullock knows very well from his time with Whitby previously and from Redcar, I believe, as well. So yeah, looking across that, I think that'll be a decent, solid goalkeeping option for Whitby. I know that they are looking to register somebody else as well. Just to obviously make sure we have cover in that position too. Yeah. But Jack will be Jack. He'll be shouting. He'll be screaming. You'll hear him from about 25 mile away at least, I'm sure. So it'll be no different to how he has been in the past. But ultimately, he might be 39-year-old, but he is still a very good goalkeeper.
Indeed. Nathan, I'm sure you're no different to myself and probably Paul as well and every other Whitby Town supporter. we've seen enough of pre-season. I don't think anybody particularly enjoys friendlies too much. It's not going to be quite like that on Saturday. It's the final pre-season game, but Lee Bullock said earlier on it's going to be played as if it's the opening NPL game against Leek. There's going to be, and I'm sure Guisborough will be exactly the same a week away from their first NPL game in their history. Are you looking forward to seeing, almost, effectively a competitive game and a derby to boot?
Yeah, I mean, from this pre-season, I think most games have been very competitive. They've been not really friendlies, to be honest. But going into the Guisborough game, I think it's definitely going to be a challenge that I think the players will relish, knowing one another. Like Paul said earlier, quite a few players and ex-Whitby Town staff will be meeting. So I think it's going to be a very competitive game, and I'm expecting that high intensity which Whitby have shown throughout pre-season to sort of come into that. I'm hoping that a lot of players will get minutes just to sort of finish off their pre-season and get us ready for the first match of the season. But I'm with Bully with that. You've got to take every game as like it's the first game of the season, and I'm hoping for a good performance, which I'm sure we'll get, and it'll be good. It'll be a good match for a good occasion as well.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. The old A171 derby. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday at the Tobar Express Stadium. Whitby Town against Guisborough Town. If you can't make it for whatever reason, there is live commentary from Paul, from Nathan, Liam and the rest of the media team from 3 p.m. And this is the Coast Extra. In fact, I think that programme starts a little bit earlier with a bit of a preview as well. We'll be back next week with our preview of the NPL Premier season ahead of that trip to Leek Town. But from Paul, from Nathan, thank you to Jack Norton, to James Dillon and to Lee Bullock as well. Thank you to you for listening too. We'll be back next week with more from the Codcast. Bye for now.